All right. So I'll actually start standing today. We'll still keep a kind of a slower start, but we'll just kind of opening breathing, opening meditation from standing. We're going to start with your big toe. You put your big toe down, and you're going to stretch your other toes away from that toe, and then lay your foot down. So you got a big wide footprint. We'll put the other big toe down, stretch the toes away, and then pull the heel back and down. Big open stance with your feet. Lift up through your crown, reach down through your fingers, and take a few deep breaths. In and out through your nose. And just notice in the body how you're feeling. In this posture, this mountain pose is like a chance to sort of feel what's out of balance. Because right now we're just standing upright. You had a long day, legs are tight, neck is sore, wherever you're holding your stress, you can kind of feel that. You don't have to do anything about it yet. You just sort of move into an openness and a fullness as you breathe. And then relax it all out again. Let's start over. So now starting with the other foot, you're going to place that big toe down, stretch the toes wide, and plant the heel down. And try that on the second side. Big toe down, stretch the toes wide, and then plant the heel down. Lift up through your crown, press down through your fingers, and breathe in and out through your nose. Maybe you feel one side is a little bit tighter than the other. Maybe you're really just noticing that the fact that you're thinking a bunch. And so invest in the fingertip sensation. Invest in the feet being planted on your mat. You slowly start to turn the wandering thoughts into body awareness. 2 more breaths, lifting up, making space in your body. Good, and then shake it all out again. Kick your knees, wiggle your wrists a second. All right, let's do it again. Big toe down, spread the toes, plant the heel. Other big toe down, spread the toes, plant the heel. Lift up through your crown, press down through your fingertips, and breathe in and out through your nose. And now see how long you can keep the attention. So you're going to count the number of breaths before you lose focus. So if you can keep all those details, the foot, the fingers, the crown, the long spine, how long until you start to wander? How long until you start to relax those ideas in the mind? Are they still present as they were when you first started? Breath 6s and 7s and 8s? Or has it already started to wander as your fingers start to relax, your head starts to droop? Good. Kick it out. Okay. Inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. Lean back. Exhale, hands go down the legs, pushing weight through the balls of the foot. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands go down the legs. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands go down the legs. We're going to try to keep the focus on the movement and the sensation. Inhale, arms to sky. Exhale, hands down the legs. Bend your knees nice and deep. Put the weight of the balls of your feet. And then step the right foot back, high lunge pose, arms in the air. Push down through the balls of the foot so the back heel lifts a little bit in your high lunge. You're kind of bringing the heel higher up. Exhale, twist to the front leg, so twisting over the left side, breathing. And then inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart, back to our mountain posture. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands go down the legs. Bend your knees, pressing through the balls of the feet. You can let those heels even hover, a little more active, a little more engagement. And then inhale, swoop up, step the left foot back, high lunge. We're gonna lift that back heel a little bit. Engage the back of the leg. Lifting the back heel. You wanna keep that awareness for the entirety of the pose. Lift those arms up, high lunge. And breathe. Lift up through the fingers, lift up through the crown. And hold our mind on these objects of attention. These objects of attention will eventually become more valuable to us than the thoughts that keep distracting us. Twist to your right, breathe. Just keeping a focus on that back heel, keeping a focus on the long spine. Good. Windmill the hands back to mountain pose, hands in front of your heart. And press those fingers down by the sides. Take the right hand on the hip, left hand reaches up, inhale. Exhale, crescent over. Inhale, reach straight back up. Exhale, crescent over. Number 2, you can push that right hand against your hips. Inhale, back up. Exhale, crescent over. Spread the palm of the left hand. When you breathe, open the side ribs, the left side ribs. Make that your object of concentration, object of focus. Inhale, back up. And let's place that other hand on the left hip now. Stretching the right hand up to the sky. Exhale, crescent over. Inhale, back up. Crescent over, number 2. Inhale. Crescent over, number 3. Spread your right palm. Place your mind there. Don't let it waver. Don't let it wobble in attentiveness. You can keep that other hand in awareness too, pushing against the hip. Breathe into the right ribs. Never losing focus. Inhale, back up, both hands to your hips. Let's bend our knees again, pushing weight down through the balls of the feet. We're gonna stay upright this time. Hover your heels just slightly. And step your right foot back, warrior 1 pose. Open warrior 1 pose up, warrior 2 pose. Push out through your front knee. Push down through your back foot. And keep those 2 things in relationship in your mind. Pushing out through the front knee, pushing down through the back foot. Breathe. Don't lose your object of concentration. And as we wait a moment, you can actually find yourself sometimes wandering to other things, but yet you can still keep the knee and the foot in focus. Big windmill motion, step back to the front of your mat. Bend both knees, hover those heels. Breathing here. Object of concentration is the balls of the feet. Knees moving towards each other. And then when you're ready, you're gonna step back, warrior one. And then open up warrior two. So a little shorter warrior two stance today. We push the front knee forward, press down through the back foot. We keep that sensation, that activation alive in our awareness. Building concentration is just, that's all it is. You're building it right now. By focusing on these two body alignments, the knee and the back foot, pushing them away from each other, prioritizing that over just whatever else it is that wants to demand attention of you. And step back to the front of your mat, bend the knees. Inhale, stretch up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look forward, flat back position. And let's bend our knees, walk it back, plank posture. In plank posture, you're gonna focus on your palms again. Just spreading energy down through your hands, out through the fingers. You're also gonna focus on your navel, drawing that navel against the spine. You just hold those points of concentration as you breathe. Yoga does not need to be more complicated than that. As we create this discipline of mind, slowly, the feeling of wandering thought, uncomfortable thought, fades away. You have to train the mind to do it, though. What are you thinking about? Thinking about how long we're going to be in plank? You think about your hands and your navel. Downward facing dog pose. Bend your knees and turn your knees to your right, opening up your right belly muscles. Breathe there. Turn your knees to the left, opening up your left belly muscles. Breathe there. Good. Come on down to kneeling posture. Point the toes straight back and sit your hips back. Focus on your breathing right now. You don't have to worry about any part of the body, just focus on your breathing. Try to take a long, deep breath, one after the other. Tune your awareness. Something that was designed to relax you. Thoughts are not designed to relax you. Thoughts are designed to stress you out, actually. Downward facing dog. Walk it forward to the front of your mat. But the breath is designed to do a lot of things, but relax you is one of those things. Press down through the big toes, spread your feet. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Open those palms so they face the front. Extend lines of energy down through your fingers, and you're going to push your arms back from the shoulder to the back of your hand. Pushing back. Open across your chest and receive breath into the space you've made. Bend the knees slightly. You're going to inhale, rise up, bring up your right knee, and see where the foot touches on the front of the leg. So maybe you can touch above the knee. We don't push on the knee. If you touch the shin instead. The knees pointing straight ahead. And now take the foot a little bit to the inside and open the knee. No touching. Keep the hands right where they were. Objects of focus. Opening into our tree posture. Good. Come back to center and release that foot down. Bend your knees, push the palms down. Inhale, pull the arms back, pull the shoulders back. Open across your chest. Bring up your left knee straight up. You can let the foot touch some part of the front of the leg, standing leg. And slowly open that left knee into tree, not using our hands. The hands are objects of focus and attention. Look how great you're all balancing. How about that? Focusing works. Bring the knee back in and release that foot back down. Bend your knees, touch your fingertips to the floor, and lift your right leg up as high into the sky as you can. As high as you can. Push down through your standing leg as well. Two more deep breaths here. You're reaching the right big toe into the sky. You're pushing the left ball of the foot into the earth. Those are your objects of focus. Drop that leg back. Come up, warrior two pose. Stretching your arms out. And let's turn our palms to face up. Let's focus on our hands in this warrior two. Palms face up. Shoulders move back and apart. Place that as your object of focus. The shoulders move back and apart. Breathe into the space you've made. Keep that spaciousness. Straighten your front leg, triangle pose. Keep the shoulder spaciousness even as you transition. This is how we learn to have greater ease and depth through difficult transitional moments in our life. You actually hold on to one thing as you transition through the other things. So let's try that. Focus on those shoulders moving back and apart as you come back to warrior two. So what's staying constant even as the pose is changing back into triangle pose? Keep the shoulders in the same practice, the same object of focus. Good, one more time. Moving those shoulders back and apart as you come back into warrior two. And step to the front of your mat, prayer hands, bend your knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, and we're going to do the second side, standing split. So you're going to push down through the ball of your right foot. Lift the left big toe as high as it'll go. And this becomes our object of focus. Pushing down through the ball of the foot, reaching up through the left big toe. Breathing. Right. Drop back. Warrior two posture. Let's turn our palms up to today, or even just, I think even thumbs pointing up, maybe that's a little bit better. And we move the shoulders back and apart. That's our object of focus. Breathing into that space, even as we transition the body into triangle pose. Shoulders remain steady. And we let everything else change around it. Inhale back up. Let's go back to that warrior two. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the legs and the core? Or are you focusing on those shoulders staying put? Back to triangle pose. Keep something constant. This is one of the ways that the breath becomes such a helpful aid during stressful times, because it can be constant. You're going to have that breath with you the rest of your life. Not too many other things you can always say that about. Come back up, warrior two. Big windmill motion back to the front of our mats. Prayer hands, bend those knees. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And then relax the arms by their sides. Press the big toe down, spread those toes and plant the heel. Press the other big toe down, spread those toes and plant the heel. Concentrate on your footprint. Lift up through your crown. Press down through your finger pads. Make your object of concentration the priority. Bend your knees, and then you're going to lift your left knee as high as you can. Lift the left knee as high as you can, then open the knee, hook the ankle on top of the right thigh, or on top of the right knee, and now bend the standing leg. Hands can touch that shin, standing pigeon. Good, kick those elbows out. Good, broaden those shoulder blades. Beautiful. And focus on the hip, focus on the balancing. Finding the objects that are not those objects right out of the mind. And oftentimes people, they want to make yoga a bigger part of their lives. Lifestyle shifts. But they're not quite sure how to take their yoga off their mat. So there are other habits, they can't really get rid of those other habits because they're still there. Inhale, lift up the left knee and place it back down. Touch the big toe down, spread those toes and plant the heel. But if we have an object, something like changing the diet or changing vocabulary, speaks a little bit cleaner, those sort of things can happen if we understand what we're affirming. We're affirming something that allows other things to fall away. Bring up the right knee, cross, and slowly sit down. Ending that left leg. The object of focus is the left foot and the right hip. Kick out the elbows, shoulder blades. So we develop this ability. One of my teachers, boy, he could focus. He could have big 20-year visions. Never take his eye off of the 20-year vision. Everything motivated towards that, oriented towards that. Such a lesson. Like all he's doing is just focusing on it. It's that simple. Inhale, rise back up, still with the foot, still with the right hip, and back to standing posture. Exhale, bow into the earth. Forget 20-year vision, we're just doing like 20 seconds for some of these moments. Step back, plank pose. Let's try a 20-second plank pose, palms and navel. That's all you have to focus on for 20 seconds. Here we go. For the record, it's like 3 deep breaths. And lower all the way down to the earth. Inhale, cobra posture. Lift those shoulders, lift the chest. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift the shoulders, lift the chest. Exhale, lower back down. 2 more. Inhale, lift shoulders, lift chest. Exhale, release it down. Last one, inhale, shoulders and chest, and now tone the muscles around your spine so that you can take your arms away. Breathe. Object of focus, the muscles around the spine. Breathing. And place those hands back under the shoulders. Push up and back to downward facing dog. Come on down to kneeling. Point those toes back behind you and press the hips back. Make your object of focus your breath. Long, slow, full breath. Walk your hands across each other. So the right hand's on the left side, the left hand's on the right side. Walk your hands across each other. Just keep doing that until you can't do that anymore.
And so your arms are in a big crisscross. Your hands are all on one edge of the mat or past it. And then drape your body on your arms so you're opening the back of your shoulders. Object of focus is making the sensation in your upper back be relaxing and not gripping. Good, walk it back up. You're gonna change the cross. Whichever hand was in front is now the hand that's in the back. So let's walk the hands across each other again. And let's just keep doing that until the hands are as far away from each other as they can get. Those backs of the shoulders are wide open. And then drape down over the elbows. Receive your breath. Good, bring it back in, tabletop posture, and extend your right leg back. Keep the plant behind you, that's what I'm doing. And lift your left hand forward. Object of concentration is not the lifted limbs. Object of concentration is the down limbs, the right palm, the left knee. Push them down, focus on them. And now bring the lifted limbs to touch under your belly. And then extend them back out again. Object of concentration is what's not moving, even during the transitions. Extending, focus on what's staying steady. Touch, extend, touch. What are you focusing on? Extend, touch, extend, and back to tabletop. Send the left leg straight back, send the right hand straight out, but turn your object of focus to the left palm and the right knee. Turn your attention to what doesn't move. Exhale, touch, open, touch, open. Don't lose the attention. Touch, open. Touch, open. More, touch, open. Last one. Stay with your attentiveness and tabletop. Place those palms down, tuck the toes, and hover your knees 2 inches off the ground. Object of focus is your navel, palms, and toes. Now bring your shoulders over your wrists. Focus on your wrists and shoulders. And press back, downward facing dog. And walk it forward, forward bend. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Press down through those big toes. Stretch the other toes away from them. Pressing down through the heel. That's our mountain pose stance. Firmly planting the feet. Lift up through your crown. Press down through your fingertips. Turn your object of concentration, fingertips, crown, and feet. Remaining present. For your breath. Slowly bend your knees. And step your right foot back a little narrower than usual. Warrior one posture. A little narrower than usual.
So for some of you, your feet could be on like a tightrope almost. Let's lift our arms up overhead. Object of concentration is the inner seams of both feet. So the big toe to the inner heel. Keep it planted on both feet. You're ice skating or on rollerblades. Good, straighten your front leg. Keep those hands out in front of you and bow forward. Where is your focus? Is it on the feet? Inhale back up. Back to warrior one. Keep it on those feet. Focus on what's steady, not what's moving. Press your palms together and bring your forearms to touch in front of your body. So those elbows are touching. And you're going to pull your elbows down as much as you can. And then straighten the front leg again. And bow over into pyramid pose, keeping those arms pressing against each other to help open the back. Good, if you can, take your right hand down to your shin or your foot. And now turn the left side of your body open. Woo, focus on the inner foot. It's still the inner edge of your feet that keeps you balanced, that takes you deeper into the pose. Honoring what's steady, even as you open the posture up. Good, come back down. Inhale, back up. Bend the front knee, reach out as far as you can. Lift up the back toes, lift up the back heel, warrior three posture, open those wings. Still on the left inner foot, that's what you're focusing on. From the big toe to the center of your heel. And step out of your posture, mountain. Concentrate on your mountain. Big toe presses down. Spread those toes. Plant the heel. Lift up through your crown, root down through your fingertips. Channel your awareness away from wandering thought. Good. Bend the knees. Let's step our left foot back a little bit narrower than usual, just so that we have to, without our focus on our inner foot, we probably would fall over. We're intentionally making the pose a little more challenging on our balancing mechanism today to create more concentration. So from our big toes to our inner heel or our center heel, like you had an inline skate on, warrior one. Breathing. Let's straighten our first front leg, the first time pyramid pose. We're going to keep the arms extended out in front of us. Focusing on the inner foot. I should say the inner edge of our foot. Inhale back up. Back to warrior one. Palms press against each other. Press the forearms so the elbows touch and pull down. It's kind of like a symmetrical eagle arm. Not as difficult either. Elbows are squeezing against each other. Okay, let's straighten the front leg and bow again, keeping those forearms pressing underneath our body, focusing on the inner edges of our foot. That's the object of concentration. What's steady as things change? Keep pressing down to those inner edges. Ooh, almost lost it myself. Come back up.
Reach up and reach outward as you lean forward. You're on the inseam of the foot, inseam of the right foot. Open up, warrior three. Keep breathing. Focusing without wavering. Those thoughts should be slowing down at this point, just really just driven out of attention. And come back up, standing posture. Great job. Hands in front, and then open up, mountain pose. Big toes down, spread those toes. Concentration means dharana, or dharana means concentration. Yogic philosophy, dharana. That's what we're doing. We're building dharana. Principle of yoga, an essential ingredient. All right, we're gonna bend our knees, lift up the left knee, and as you lift it up, as you send it across, bend your right knee. So you're stacking your knees. Stacking your knees. It's okay if that foot hangs out for a second. Put on the block, put on the floor. I recommend focusing on the inseam of your right foot. And squeeze the inseam of your legs together. As you squeeze the inseam of your legs together, that will change that top foot. It maybe will hug the shin or tuck behind the calf. Breathing. Good, come back up, lift that knee up high and place it back down. Big toe down, spread the other toes, plant the heel. It's a dharana. Inhale, lift up the right knee, nice and tall. Slowly pull it across as you bend the standing knee. All the while, the inseam of the left foot and the inseam of both legs squeeze together. This is our concentration point. Everything else is driven out. Everything else disappears. And we end up right here in this moment, attentive. Keep crossing the inseam of the legs. Good, lift that knee back up and place the foot flat. Turn your toes out and slowly squat down. You can let your head hang for a moment. Two more deep breaths here, just grounding through the feet, sinking the sit bones. Good. When you're ready, you're going to take a sit back on your sit bones. Extend those legs out in front of you. Object of concentration are your heels and your sit bones. If it's difficult to sit on those energies, please sit up higher with your sit bones so that you can focus on your sit bones and your heels. Legs are straight out. Let's just start by just draping our spine. Keeping our object of concentration on the heels and the sit bones. Good, rise back up. Pull the feet in so the knees are bent and pull your navel in. So you're pressing your spine towards the floor and you start to dislike me a little bit because you're activating your core here. Pulling the navel in. Good. Now you can hover the feet, maybe make the shins parallel with the floor. Breathing. Try to make the toes the same height as the eyeballs. And that can actually become an object of concentration, just looking at your big toes. Keep breathing. me, I like my object of concentration here is my navel down through my sits bones. Good, keep the right leg in the air, grab your left ankle if you can. And pull the left ankle towards your chest. Good, now roll onto your back, pull the left ankle towards your chest, lift the right toe in the sky, and try to rock back up to seated with the right heel down and the left ankle on your quad. Drape over that front leg. And just be passive here again, let that left hip open up. I'm gonna check, make sure everyone understood what I was talking about. Oh my gosh, we all did it, that's great. Straighten those legs back out. And let's do our second side. So bend the knees, pull the navel back. My object of concentration is my navel down through my base. Then we hover our shins. You can focus on your toes with your eyes. That's still sometimes a little mental because you don't really need to focus on your toes or your eyes, but you kind of do need to focus on your navel down through your base. It keeps my pose a little more embodied, but you choose what works for you, how you can concentrate. And then pull the right ankle towards your body. So we're still balancing. We're gonna rock back onto our back and lift the left toe up, pull the right shin towards us. Roll back forward, place the ankle on top of the straight leg, and drape over that leg. Inhale, back up. Let's take both feet together. Let the knees fall open. Let your forehead grow heavy here. Let the forehead grow heavy. That's your object of concentration. Concentration does not require effort. It just makes it easier. When we have physical effort, and for some reason makes us concentrate a little better, probably tied to our evolutionary survival. But we can still concentrate on just being passive, observing stillness. This is the yogic trick. Good, inhale, coming back up. Bring your right shin across, so the right knee is in front of you. Bring your left foot over the top of that knee, so the foot is flat on the floor. Left knee's in the air. And you're gonna pull the left thigh towards your body and twist to your left. Breathe. So I didn't really give you an object to concentrate on that time, specifically the body. Where did your mind go? Let's take that left knee in front on the bottom, cross the right foot over the top, and twist to the second side. For me, the object of concentration on here is usually my right sit bone, because that likes to come up. And I plant my sit bones and pull the thigh bone towards me. One measurement of yogic understanding is that when we don't have an object of concentration, we get these moments where there's just nothing going on. The wandering thoughts don't start back up. There's just nothing. The only way to get that is to train the mind to first learn how to keep focus on something that is steady. Let's come back to center. Pull the navel towards the spine, pull back down for a moment. And then inhale, lift up, cross your ankles, and roll forward. Coming to tabletop posture. Turn your palms to face up and come down onto your forearms. So it's forearm tabletop, palms facing up today. Melt your spine down through your shoulder blades. And then lift your spine up in between the shoulder blades. Let's do that 3 more times. So you need to focus on the steadiness of the shoulder blades and the movement of your spine. Good, let's walk those knees back a little further than they just were. And let's try that again. 3 times. Shoulder blades stay steady, spine moves up and down. So you can walk the knees back a little further. You can tuck the toes and lift the knees off the ground. We're going to do that 3 more times. Spine moves down and up. This can really be tough with the knees off the ground. Good. Drop the knees down, drop the pelvis down. Sphinx posture. You're going to turn those palms to face down now and make sure those elbows are right under your shoulders. Press up through your crown. Object of focus is the palms and the smooth opening of the front of your spine. Breathe. Good. Place those hands under the shoulders and press down through your palms. See if you can get our arms straight with our pelvis still on the ground. Don't hurt your spine. Just see if that's available. Arms straight with the pelvis still on the ground. Billy, you're just going to drop that pelvis as far towards the wall as you can. Good. Pushing down. Now, with the pelvis still down, pull the shoulder blades away from your ears. Breathe. Now, press the knees down and lift the toes towards the sky behind you. Breathe. My hips do come up from this for this one. And relax on down. You can turn your head to the side and rest your cheek on your hands. Pull the right forearm across the front of your body. Bend your left knee and hold the foot with the left hand. Thigh stretch, gently pulling down that quad. Turning the body back to the right. Lift up. Think cobra pose in your chest. That's it, good. If you want to try a more advanced pose, you're going to put the right hand back under the shoulder and kind of lift up into a one-armed cobra as you do this thigh stretch, but just be careful of your low back here if you want to try that version. Now let's release the left foot and switch sides. My object of concentration here is the front of my right hip, right knee's bent. That's what I'm checking in with. And as we just focus on something, as we start to just realize that we're not just wrestling our attention away from our wandering thoughts, but we've actually been able to now focus on one thing and kind of stay with it. Our ability to stay with the thing we're focusing on can grow deeper. Our understanding of it can evolve. We can learn about how our own body works, without having to read it or be told about it, but just by focusing on it. Let's release that leg back down. Up dog or cobra again. Pull the shoulder blades away from your ears, friends. Pull the navel towards your spine. And relax back down. Let's bend both knees, hold both feet. If you can't hold the feet, you're gonna grab a strap maybe, or just think about holding today. Before we kick with our feet, let's first do cobra with our torso. The legs aren't even doing, and the arms aren't doing anything. We're just cobraing with our spine. Focusing on our spine, and now we add the legs. So the core of our spine, the muscles around our spine can be in support. Breathe. And relax back down. Beautiful. Press up, downward facing dog. And pull the left knee forward, taking the foot across the body into pigeon legs. Let's stay upright in our pigeon. If you've got blocks, you can put your hands on the blocks. So our body is in straight arm cobra. And our left leg is the only thing that's different. So our body knows cobra already, we did it. Now we just changed one leg. We did the bow pose, so now just bend your back knee. And if you'd like, you can reach back with your right hand to hold your right foot. Open your shoulder blades and draw them back. Press down through your knees. Maybe bring that left hand onto your knee or bring that left hand into the sky. Good, and when you're ready, release everything. Drop that forehead forward, relaxing pigeon. I know for some, pigeon is never relaxing, but doing the version that works for you. If you find the mind is wandering still, without an object of concentration, choose something in the pose. It really can be anything. You just have to commit to it. Downward facing dog when you're ready. Some of us have been practicing long enough, we're a little tired now. When we just don't focus, we can stay quiet inside. Bring the right knee straight forward, right foot across. Press down through the palms, so it's cobra pose with straight arms. Pulling those shoulders down, lifting up to your crown. If you'd like, you're going to bend your back knee and hold that back foot with the hand. This could be our pose. We might take the right hand to the knee. This could be our pose. We might take the right hand to the sky. Breathing. And then draping down. If you need an object to focus, just pick one. And breathe and watch it. Stay with it. I find it's always most helpful to go where the sensation is, or to create sensation by spreading your palm with your fingers. Sensation helps keep the attentiveness. And roll onto that hip, and you're going to swing your back leg all the way around. We're going to take a short little break for you all to go grab an object of concentration in your home. Now, traditionally, one tradition is called tartak, where you stare at a candle flame. So if you have a candle, you're welcome to light it now and put it in front of you. But in other things that are great are pictures, a picture of a loved one. Or if you're sitting with someone, you could just make eye contact. That could be a little intense, but it still works. Something that an object of concentration. It's not a picture of a loved one. It can just be any object. Maybe you have a little stone or a bell that you have that is meaningful to you. We're just going to set it in front of you, maybe on a coffee table, so you don't have to look down or up at it. It's just kind of sitting in front of you, and place that on your mat, or not on your mat, but so you can see it from your mat. Let's give everyone a second there to find their object of concentration. Come on, I know, a little hokey, a little different than usual, but it's worth it. It's worth it. There you go. I see some people are down. We got a candle on that screen. I love it. Good for you, Ron. Okay, now we're gonna first take our meditation seats. You have two poses. Easy pose, you're gonna cross the ankles in front of the knees. And again, if this is not easy, you should be sitting up high. The next version is, that's called Sukhasana. The next one is Siddhasana, where you're going to pull the heels kind of more into the middle. It's a little more challenging on your hips, but it does create a little more attentiveness, where the heels are in a straight line in front of the pubic bone. You're going to rest your hands on your knees, or on your wrists on your knees, so your spine is long, and just gaze. You're being deliberate, but you're not overly focusing. You're just staying with it. Almost like your object of concentration that's external to you is creating an inner stillness, an inner poise. Right? If we're reaching out with our eyes, trying to over focus, that destabilizes our stillness. So you just take it into your gaze. And you keep it there. It's that simple. And as you keep it there, this will drive away wandering thought. Start to lengthen your breath. You can count your breath. This is another tool to help concentrate or build concentration. Two more moments. Unwavering focus. As though it was a skill you could build. We'll do the second side. Just drop your gaze, drop your head, drop your shoulders. Walk your hands over to one side. Walk your hands over to the other side. Come back to center and change the cross of your legs. And once again, slowly build a posture that allows for focus. If you have internal discomfort, forget it. Never work. Make your spine long, your foundation stable, and the air can flow freely through your torso, meaning you can breathe easily. And once again, take that firm but open grasp with your gaze on your object of concentration. You can think that wherever you're watching from, your eyes are like clean windows, and thoughts are dust or grime on the window. You're trying to peer through clean windows at this object outside of you. They say that the eye will sparkle with a particular kind of luster when the yogi is not clouded with inner thought. One more moment. Unwavering focus. Gently bring the palms together and lift your knees up. You're going to pull your navel back. You can clear your mat if your object's on your mat and slowly lie onto your back. A couple more cool down poses now. Bend your knees so your feet are flat on the floor. Let's step our feet about as wide as our sticky mat here and do some windshield wipers. So take your knees all the way to the right. And then take your knees all the way to the left. A couple more times, nice and slow, all the way to the right. All the way to the left. One more time to the right. One more time to the left. And let's make sure everyone's taking our knees to the right and pausing. Good. Slide your left leg now back off the left edge of your mat. So you're getting a stretch across the front of the left hip. Good. And slide the right knee up towards your right shoulder some. Good. So it's like just a wider windshield wipers effectively. Make sure this is okay on your hips. And let's come back up to center and take our knees, windshield wipers over to the left. You don't need a lot, you just need a little. You'll take the right foot back and the left knee up or toward, I don't know which direction you take the left knee, but it's got to go up towards the shoulder. Is that considered up? I don't know. Let's bring the knees back up and the feet still about as wide apart as the mat. Let's let the knees fall in towards each other. If you want to take the feet wider, you can. Just kind of feel out. Even though the feet are moving, the object of focus is the hip joint. That's what you're listening to. That's what you're concentrating on. And once you're here, let's stretch your arms straight into the sky. And then from straight into the sky, go overhead. So your arms are reaching back behind you or overhead, keeping the belly muscles soft, keeping the low back relaxed. And start to walk your feet towards each other. And then pull your knees towards your chest. Let's keep those hands where they are. Good, now let's take the hands and place them over the right knee or behind the right knee. Now let's stretch that left leg slowly straight out along the mat. Bring the right knee towards your left shoulder. And then pull that right knee with your left hand all the way across to the mat or to the floor, twisting. The yogi will train their mind through body and breath movement to concentrate, so that when we relax, there's just no disturbances inside. It takes time, but even after just one wholehearted practice, you should notice an improvement. You should notice a difference. Let's bring that legs back to center, knees back to chest. And hold the left knee while stretching the right leg out on the mat. Aim the left knee for the right shoulder. And then pull it across in a twist. Let's stretch our legs back out. Let's start with the legs together. So your stretched out legs together. You can put the inseams of the foot together. And squeeze those arms, squeeze your palms against the sides of your hips. So it's basically mountain pose as though it fell over. Exactly. And lengthen the back of your crown. Breathe into your chest, lengthen your belly. Spine is settling into the mat. Keep breathing here, and then just really softly, one more moment, and then just let all the effort release. The toes will fall open, the hands will probably fall open. That may feel good. If you like a little more space, feel free to take a little more space. And rest. Perhaps resting in a quiet mind.
Stretch your body. Take a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for practicing tonight. Namaste. I'll hit pause on the recording if you'd like to say some goodbyes. Robin's here. We want to